Here on Pillow Talk with Dr. Zackarina, we believe that taking care of your health is just as important as having a good time, and Vivint Health is here to make sure you can do both. For decades, Vivint Health has been breaking barriers in HIV care and prevention, offering free HIV STI testing, access to PrEP, and expert support for people living with HIV. Their services are built on compassion, dignity, and real community care. No insurance, no ID, no judgment. Just the resources you need to stay safe and healthy. They also run LifePoint, a harm reduction program providing syringe access, overdose prevention with Narcan, and connections to treatment, because everyone deserves support no matter where they are in their journey. Your health is worth protecting, and Vivint Health is here to help. Visit vivanthealth.org to learn more and take control of your well-being today. Welcome back to Pillow Talk, your intimate drag podcast where we talk all things sex, drugs, rock and roll. But instead of rock and roll, it's more like a top 40s pop. A lot of Madonna, maybe some Cher. Really? I am so excited. We have a great episode for y'all today. Pillow Talk is brought to you by Denver Element, which is an organization that's been serving the LGBTQ community here in Colorado for over 15 years. They're a program of Mile High Behavioral Health Care. They do all the things, mental health support, community groups, fun, different like events like game nights and things like that. So check out Denver Element. We're really grateful to have them as our title sponsor. And make sure that you check out us on social media. We are Pillow Talk Dr. Z. That's Pillow Talk DRZ on all of your favorite socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. These episodes go out weekly on Tuesdays, so you can watch them wherever you would like. We're on all of those different streaming services. So pour yourself up a nightcap, get into your PJs, snuggle up under the covers, and get ready for some Pillow Talk with me, Dr. Zackarina, and my beautiful, wonderful, amazing guest, Calvin. Everybody say, wow.
Oh my gosh, wow.
You can't hear it, but the live studio audience going crazy right now. Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Oh my gosh, that person just started crying. That's
oh my
so
God,
cool.
Stop throwing your bras, please.
Oh my gosh, stop. I'm so hot. It's so hard.
I think that would be such a peak moment if somebody was throwing like undergarments at me.
I'd shit my pants.
The gay version, but if like a jockstrap got thrown at me, I'd be like, ah.
Oh, I would have a problem.
Yeah, but a bra, fierce.
Like a problem in a good way.
Oh.
Like I'd be like, that's hot.
Yeah.
I don't like jock straps myself, but I do like the aesthetic of them.
I will say they are a fun aesthetic. I do appreciate that like cruising-y energy with them,
Yep.
which is really fun. Really awesome info on Calvin. Calvin is one of Colorado's premier comedians. Honestly, one of my favorite comedians in all of Colorado.
Stop.
I love Calvin, and I'm not just saying that. Truly, one of the funniest stuff. You got to watch him do stand-up. It is amazing. You just got back from a trip to New York where you were doing a whole comedy little tour up there.
Yes, it was so much fun. Just, doing some new venues in the city, some venues I've done before. It was a great time.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it.
Have you ever lived in New York?
No.
Before? No,
I'm
just
like
visit all the time.
Mm-hmm. I have friends that live up there, and so I stay with them, and then I like get to hang out with them too. But then I come from a theater background, so all of them get the performance hustle. So they're very supportive of me, like doing the shows and doing all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God, we love a little twofer.
1000% yes.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for being here. We always like to start our shows here at Pillow Talk with a pillow confession, which is some type of story. It can be funny, it can be serious, it can be silly, it can be embarrassing, something that you want to confess and share with not only me, but the entire world. The entire U.S. is watching.
Yes.
This is the gay equivalent of a State of the Union.
100%.
So, Calvin, what is your pillow confession?
Okay, let me think. My pillow confession. I have so many confessions to make, which is just so unfortunate.
It's for the plot.
It is for the plot. No, literally, and I've said that before. One of the is this a confession? I think so. One of the ugliest men I've ever hooked up with was some of the best head I've ever received.
Speak on it.
It is. So this one guy, God, this is so bad. I think I was recently out of the closet, and and I was desperate. I was in Greeley, Colorado.
You are not the first Greeley diva on this podcast.
I love that. Oh my gosh, wow.
What, Cowtown is?
Yep. It has a good theater program. The school does, the university. That's why I went there. And I was, on Grindr, and then this one guy, he had a beard. I am a sucker for beards.
Yep.
God, I have low standards. I should also just put that out there. Okay, anyway. Call me because
Yeah.
I'll probably say yes.
Real.
Because this guy, I mean, he was just atrocious.
Yeah.
And we were
Goblin
talking
kind of thing.
a little bit, but he had a beard.
Yeah.
So I was set.
Couple
and
points.
you know, like those pictures on Grindr where it's like a half of a face because you know he's trying to hide like the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was before I knew he like what that meant. Baby gays, if there's a guy on Grindr that has a pretty face, but it's obvious it's only showing the face, he's ugly everywhere else.
Yep.
There's something else going on.
Yep.
And
if he's always got sunglasses on in every photo, if you can't get a real photo, red flag.
Huge red flag. He didn't have sunglasses on, but everything else was just like the, very stoic photo.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over to his place and it was a really, really weird apartment complex. And I saw him in person. I was like, damn, you are uglier than I was expecting. Which is so mean. It's so mean. And it does not happen often with Grindr hooks. Because most of the time they're more attractive than their photos actually. But
people
this time,
photograph poorly.
Yeah. He did. He photographed poorly and he looked poorly, which is just so, I feel so mean for saying that.
Double homicide.
But it was so nasty. And then I was at the point where I was like, let's just get going. So we started.
Got to see it through.
I was like, let's get the come and go. And he pulled down his pants into like these disgusting ass tidy whities. And I was like, you can't make it worse.
Oh, girl.
Tidy whities aren't cute, men. They're not. Sorry.
No.
They're just not. They look like diapers. And so
Yes,
I pulled that.
they do.
And he was like, let's go to the bedroom. And I was like, I can't look at you. So then I tried just to not look at him. And then he went down and it was the best head at the time I had ever gotten.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. And I kind of liked him. And then he came back up and I was like, cool, I can't. Did my thing and I left. And that was where I realized that, like, really, sometimes looks don't matter because if you're not that attractive, you got something else to prove.
Girl.
Guys with micro penises tend to be really good at sex because they know that they're lacking somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've hooked up with one guy with a micro penis.
Me too.
He was my second ever hookup, so I didn't know it was a micro penis. But now looking back, I'm like, oh, that was for sure a micro penis.
Mine was like a little bit early career, but like
Early career
far
date,
enough to where I knew. And I remember he was so hot, and he was like at college with me, and I had always seen him on the apps and stuff. And so finally, like 2 ships passing in the night, we finally connected. And yeah, Mike like pulled down pants, and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I made fake choking sounds. I was like, does that help?
I couldn't, when my guy was so small, I was like jacking. This was my second ever hookup. I was in the closet still.
Yeah.
And it was my second ever hookup and my hands would slip because it was so small. I couldn't
like,
get it around my hand. And I was like,
better.
this isn't, chopsticks would be better. He wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
But again, it was my second time, so I didn't know any better. At least the ugly guy, like, he was actually good. Like, it was the first time I was like, oh, I get why people like really go for like oral. I didn't know that until him. So
Did you ever go back to the ugly guy?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because he was also like, I smoke, which isn't my favorite thing in the world because I don't like the smell of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Like, if you smoke weed, I don't care. It's like not like whatever. But he is like he smelled of cigarettes. Like when I left his apartment, I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, and it's baked into skin and clothes.
yeah.
Yeah, I love a cigarette aesthetic.
Me,
I love
aesthetically, they're so hot.
My goal for 2025 is to get into smoking cigarettes. Like I would love to get into it in like a very Sex in the City Carrie Bradshaw way.
1000% where you never want smells and you only have it when you need it.
And one time in my life in like high school that I smoked a cigarette, it was like the worst experience of my life. But I'm like, I would try it again just to like,
yes. I have never once tried it. Honestly, school, my health class did a killer job of making me never want to try a cigarette. Like, it seriously was like, ugh, I don't even want a drunk cigarette. Like, I just never wanted it. But aesthetically, I was like, why are guys so hot?
Yeah.
Well, at the time, why are girls? But, like, why are guys so hot when they kind of have it?
Yeah.
And not in the Fault in Our Stars way. Not in him. Because he was like, I hold it to just, like, be so close to life that I'm close to death. Why did that work on us?
It had a death grip on divas for a while.
It had a death grip on me.
It had a death grip on the girl in it.
One of my... That was really funny.
Sorry, John Green.
That was really funny, though. Sorry, Shailene Woodley. God, I love her. But one of my friends spoiled that book for me.
Yeah.
Like, they were just like, hey, I'm going to tell it to you because someone else will. He dies. And I was like...
Well, and the gag was, I remember I started to love spoilers at that point in my life because then I was like, oh, yeah, she dies. And they're like, no, bitch, he dies. And I was like, gag. I was like, damn, I bet that was a great book because that just gagged me.
Right. Like, I would have loved to have been like, had read that in the moment. That happened. I used to love spoilers too. And I specifically Drag Race spoilers. And then I stopped because I knew the Ben de la Creme self-elimination was going to happen.
Oh.
And I got pissed because I was like, that could have been so cool to just see.
Live. Oh my God. That was All Stars 3 was my first ever season of Drag Race.
That was my first ever live season that I saw as episodes went on. Of every other season I'd seen, I had to catch up for.
Right. Yeah, which so like I had having no knowledge of Drag Race and that being like my first. It was like I was watching that as I was like because that was coming out at that point.
Okay.
And then I was kind of watching season 6 because I was like, who is this Ben de la Creme girl?
Season 6 was my first season. My friends in college were like, you need to watch Drag Race. I was in the closet still. God.
Same.
I was in the closet and they told me you should watch it. I watched one episode. I was hooked and have been hooked ever since.
Yeah.
And then came out of the closet 2 years later.
I know. Mine was me in high school being like, it's just really interesting. And my mom being like, girl.
Oh, in high school, I would have never even thought to look at those.
Yeah.
Those drag queens.
Well, that was the gag. So for me, I got into drag. I learned about drag and Drag Race because I talked about it on the last episode, really into Survivor. And I would watch Survivor all the time. And so my favorite part of Survivor was the challenges. And so I would watch like compilations of them or just like one-off challenges from seasons. Once I had like gone through almost all of the seasons, I was like, let me just watch challenges. And one day I saw one of the Drag Race mini challenges for when on season 6 they're jumping off the thing.
Yeah.
And I had watched like America's Next Top Model when I was a kid with my sister.
Yeah.
So I loved like a crazy challenge. I loved the Tyra Banks putting them on like a floating platform through the thing. Like I just love that competition aspect of it. And then, so I clicked on it because I was like, what is this? Didn't know that they were drag queens. Thought it was like an America's Next Top Model thing. Thought they were women. And then learned about Drag Race through it. So it was like my intro into Drag Race was thinking I was watching like Survivor-y type clips.
I love that. I didn't get into Survivor until moving in with my roommate, and now I'm obsessed. Obsessed. I love it now.
Survivor's amazing. My newest obsession, and I got both my sisters hooked on it, Traitors.
I love Traitors.
Girl,
God.
That's the only reason I want to get on Drag Race in my life is to then have that be the feeder program into Traitors. I'm like, I need to become famous somehow to get on Traitors.
Because I would do so well on Traitors.
Would you be a traitor or faithful?
I would do either, but I'd be a better traitor.
I could not. I could if I needed to. Like, dream situation, get recruited. But I think I would need to be a faithful because I just get so anxious. I think I would like break out in hives. I would like, I mean, even just right after Alan tapping people on the shoulders, my face would be so red. I'd be like, who do you guys
I would have
traitor
such
is?
a fun time.
It would be, I mean, it would just be fun and it's so campy. I mean, that's why they won the Emmy over Drag Race is because it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Literally, I would do Traitors in a heartbeat.
I would do Traitors too. It reminds me of the game Mafia, which is kind of what it's based off of.
Baby.
And I loved Mafia.
Did you ever play Werewolf?
No.
Girl. It was like Mafia, but this little, like, it's an app, and then you have these little, you just write on note cards, but then they have different roles, like the seer and stuff like that. We played it, and once we finished our AP exams, we would play them in our AP classes every day.
Yeah.
But that's, I could be a traitor because I ate that shit up. I would we would reveal the cards. I would start with a lie.
Yep.
And then just see how it snowballs. I'd be like, I'm the troublemaker. I switched these cards. And then and just bank and pray that like that someone didn't have that or something. And then, figure it out through everybody else revealing of like, oh, bitch, I was a werewolf, but now I'm not a werewolf. This person is. Or like, oh shit, I am a werewolf now because my cards got switched. I had a pretty good success rate with that, but it was like I just had to play so offensively, or else I would drown.
See, and I never played. God, Werewolf sounds like fun. I would play Mafia because Mafia doesn't require any. We would play it. I used to do with my youth group growing up. We would do cross country trips to California with no phones or anything, so we'd have to play card games.
Yeah,
like 15 of us in a van, and so we'd always play Mafia. I was always picked to be Mafia because I was a good enough actor. Everyone would believe me that I wasn't a Mafia, and I threw my friends under the bus. I threw my youth pastor under the bus. I threw my brother under the bus. Like, I don't give a fuck. I wanted to win, and so that's what I think I'd be a good traitor because of that.
Would you swear on your children?
Probably.
Hell yeah.
I talk shit on it, but I probably would. Yeah.
I would in a heartbeat. So my OG intro into reality TV, Total Drama Island.
I love Total Drama Island.
Drama
God.
Island was my gateway drug.
Yep.
Started Total Drama Island. Then it was Big Brother was my first like big show. And then into Survivor, then into Drag Race, all the things. My delusion is put me on any reality show, I'm winning.
Yeah.
I think I genuinely, maybe not Drag Race. No, I genuinely think I could win any reality show.
I think you could win Drag Race. I'll have delusion for you.
You heard it here first, Rue. If not, Camp Wanakiki, I'll call you next.
Or Dragula.
Dragula, girl. I during October
drag.
I put on black lipstick, so I'm out. I do some
This
alt drag.
aesthetic.
Literally.
Fucking Dragula.
The runway is like horror gore, and I just come out like this. Honestly.
Queens did it and wouldn't get eliminated, so
I mean, hey.
God.
I just want to circle back, circle back that do you regularly hook up with ugly people? Where do you stand on that?
Oh my God. That's one of the best questions I've ever been asked. I've hooked up with ugly people more than I should. I have done it before. I don't love doing it. It's hard. I got raised in queer like dating through hookup culture.
Yeah.
Like I hooked up with guys before I was out of the closet, and then it's became all I knew.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out of that, but because I'm not out of that yet, when I'm really in the zone that I need to hook up,
Yeah.
if I really need, and for some reason Grindr sucks when I really want to hook up, and then when I don't want to hook up, you get all of the messages from all the hot guys. That's annoying.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the zone, and unfortunately when I want something, I really want it, and I will compromise to get what I need.
Yeah.
And so I have done it before. It's not something I'm proud of or do. God, I want to say don't do that frequently, but God, I think the last time something bad happened was 2024.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is I am very similar of like, bitch, I'm hot to go. I need it right now.
Yep.
And then silence. But then the time I'm like, oh, I'm just window shopping, and everyone's like, I will travel to you right now. And I'm like, girl, I have been really into sniffies lately. I'm a sniffies girl. Down. Get into it.
The one sniffies hookup I had, he came out to me mid hookup. He was like, I'm definitely gay. I go,
you're like, I'd hope.
I go, what do you mean? And then he told me, I have always just said I'm bi, but I'm never this turned on with a girl. I was like, girl, I'm in Jersey. I was visiting my friend. She let me borrow her car. I let her hook up with a really bad guy the night before, so we just knew. So she let me borrow her car, and I did it, and the entire time I was like, he's not that cute, but whatever. I apparently solidified his.
Love that.
It's kind of nice when you're the cuter one. That's happened to me quite a few times where I'm the cuter one of the hookup, and it does feel good.
Yeah. I've always said that my dream relationship is one where I'm better than the other person in every capacity. I want to be the settler in every aspect.
I only want to be the settler in humor, and I'm not worried about that.
Fair. I love hooking up with ugly people. My type, medium ugly.
So then Sniffies is perfect for you.
Love an ugly guy.
For the listeners who don't know what Sniffies is, which I doubt, for the two women that are listening, for Zackarina sisters, Sniffies is like Grindr on crack.
Yeah.
It's an app. It's not an app. It's a website.
It just became an app. It
Really?
just got on the App Store.
Okay, so
Literally.
up until like last week, it was only a website. You can anonymously do stuff. People don't have profile pictures there. They have their nudes. That's what their profile is. So you're literally scanning your area for the best dick or asshole you can find.
And it's terrifying too, because sometimes the icons will move. So then it's like you're like staying put, and there's like 3 dicks swarming towards you, and you get a little scared. You're like, ah!
I've had that happen to me before. An old man I thought was like circling me. I live right next to a King Soopers.
Oh,
that's what he had to do.
He was just getting lost in the aisles.
And I know because I've seen him at that King Soopers and been like, oh God.
Cap Hill.
No, I'm in Lakewood, baby.
Oh,
yeah. Although I imagine Sniffies in Cap Hill is a different beast.
She's a little fun. She's a little wild.
Grindr is fun in Cap Hill, much less. More
just
slutty.
anything in that area. And then like you add a Friday night into it, and now everybody's flocked to all the gay bars. So I love it. I love hooking up with ugly people. I also am very much I will compromise if that means I need this thing. I one time this was one of the coolest things. I did a research study once, because that was my side hustle in college, is I would be a research participant, because there's always a million research studies for gay men, because they're like, gay men are these promiscuous little pieces of shit. How do we learn to study them and make sure that they don't all die? And so I would do like a million STI. I would do an STI test a week and send it off and like get $100. Like that was I was on top of that shit. I didn't have
penetrative sex in college, so I would have done them.
Oh no, literally, it was
I got an HIV test in college.
Yep.
The fuck?
It'd be like, have you had sex recently? No, or sometimes not. Like I wouldn't lie, because I do believe in like supporting research, but it would be like I would get into the program and I'm like, I'm gonna be their control variable because I'm not fucking right now. But I did this one study, and it was all about like, there's a lot of studies about PrEP and HIV and things like that.
Yeah.
But this one was about the behavioral side, where it was trying to determine with PrEP sometimes people say that there's an option for on-demand prep where you take 2 pills and
2-1-1 method. I've done that.
Yep.
I know the 2-1-1 method.
Yeah. So like this idea of like, rather than taking prep continuously, you take like 2 24 hours before, like 1 after 1, like 24, 72 hours after or something like that. But what that does is it means that you have to accurately predict when you're going to have sex, because you need to take those first 2 doses like 24 hours before. It can't be like moment of or something like that. And so the study was, can gay men predict when they're going to have sex? So every day for 3 months, I would get a text and it would say, did you have sex in the last 24 hours? If so, answer a couple questions. How likely are you to have sex in the next 24 hours? 0 to 100%. And so for me, as I was going through it, I was like in a situationship at one point during it. I could not accurately predict when I was going to have sex, but at the end we had to do a focus group. So there were a bunch of other gay guys and we were all talking. And one of them said this thing that I was like, oh my God, I did that. He was like, on the days where I thought I was going to have sex, where I was like, bitch, 100%. I know I'm hooking up with this person or whatever. And they fell through. They were like, I don't know if it was like filling out the form, but I was more hell-bent on like, bitch, I said I'm having sex today. I'm having sex. So then they would go and like hook up with somebody random or like ugly or like whatever that they weren't planning for. So cool. It was such an interesting study to be a part of, because I was like, bitch, I could not tell you when I'm going to have sex.
No, you can't. So I did the 2-1-1 method for the longest time.
Really?
And then I would literally take it and get upset because I didn't have sex. And I was like, am I wasting 2?
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't take it, but then a guy would want to have sex. I'm like, damn it. Well, I don't want to go, and I don't want to go daily. So then I tried to go daily for a while, and then I did give up.
Was it like side effects or just like taking a daily pill?
So with the 2 times, I was going through some stomach stuff at the time, and now I'm starting to think it wasn't that. But when I was doing 2, I was scared that would cause my stomach to be more upset. Yeah. So then I was like, well, I guess I have to do daily if it's for my stomach. But then I didn't like doing daily, because then I was like, well, I'm not having sex, so I feel like I'm taking something for nothing, which would piss me off. So then I stopped. I stopped. So now I'm trying to see if the 2-on-1 could hop back in there.
Yeah. I know that they're like CDC and everybody are like trying to like continue researching it and stuff, and it's popped up more. I mean, I think efficacy, like some studies found like it's like 60%, which isn't 99 that like daily prep.
I saw one
or,
that was like
injectable.
75. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's better than nothing. That's always my number one thing, is like something's better than nothing, you know, having a conversation about STIs and like, sure, somebody can lie to you and be like, yeah, I was tested recently, whatever. But like, at least adds another layer of like, oh, it's another attempt at like adding a resource protection strategy, whatever you want to call it. But I know I am very much in a dry spell right now by choice, other people's choice. And I take it daily because I also take like allergy meds. So it's just like built into my routine. But I'm like, girl, I'm taking this prep for fucking no one.
See, I'm also on antidepressants, so it could have been a part of your routine, but I was just a brat.
Yeah.
Like I was just mad about it. And I'm also kind of a side.
Yeah.
Kind of a side for Zackarina sisters. That means tops and bottoms. We know what that is. Side means you kind of just like the foreplay stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of side stuff. So then there's sometimes where it's like I don't need to have sex all the time.
Yeah.
So that also makes prep more unique because I don't need it all the time. And then half the guys I see also don't need it. So then it becomes kind of a unique thing there.
Yeah.
And the last guy I had sex with was just literally so fucking big. It hurt. It literally. Sorry. Not fun. I don't get why guys like,
Girl.
I'm not a size queen.
No.
Make it smaller. Make it micro. God. And
Boyfriend dick, not gut busting.
Yeah, and I told the guy, I was like, God damn, I hooked up with him one other time, but we didn't have sex, and then this time we did. And I was like, your dick is bigger than I remember, and then he whispered in my ear, that's what everybody says. I was like, okay. That was hot, but then he slipped in to, oh, God, and I literally made it sound like I died.
Full body reaction happening right here.
Like, God, it hurt so bad, and he goes, sorry.
Oh.
What else? But what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Sorry, but like, control yourself. But also and by the end I was like, this isn't fun.
Girl.
Finish because I'm in pain. And I don't want to walk funny later. No, I want to walk. I want to be able to continue with my life.
Yeah. I think one of my biggest fears in life, this is insane to say, one of my biggest fears in life, falling in love with somebody, finding out they have a big dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like too big. Like there is a such thing as too big. And yeah, I'm not a size queen at all.
Was fully willing to make this guy irregular, and then that happened, and I couldn't. I knew for a fact he wouldn't have fun. I wouldn't have fun. We can't do it.
Yeah. And it's just like, girl, there's some gutless bottom out there for you. Not me.
There is a pass around the party bottom
Baby.
ready for you. That's not me. I'm not that girl.
And his alt's on Twitter. You can see everything. We love
Truly
our local
everything. You can
Denvers.
see his large intestine. Like,
Girl.
you can see everything.
Colonoscopies fear him. Like that kind of bottom.
No, truly though. And that's good for him. I'm just not. Nope.
Yeah, I'm not. I talk a big game with sex. I'm kind of mid at it. If I'm being honest. I remember one time during a show, I was like, aren't we all kind of like mediocre at sex? The audience went silent, and I was like, oh, not a safe space. Okay. I was like, we can't be reflective here. Wow. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm not trying to be the porn star. Although a part of me is like always curious. Like, I feel like double penetration sounds cool in theory.
Couldn't.
No, I could not. No.
I just had a full body reaction too. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think my everything just closed tighter in my body. I don't need to be doing that. I am not built for that. I would have to do like yoga stretches for that, I feel like.
Deep breathing.
Yeah. Mindfulness.
I'm like, guys, I'm like incredibly tight. God, my mom. No, I'm sorry. My family doesn't listen to my podcast. They know. But like, that's like a thing for me. So then it's also like, it can't like so I'm also just not fun because I'm worried the whole time.
Yeah.
But with everything but that stuff, I think I'm pretty good. I used to think I was mid, and enough guys have told me I'm not.
I have gotten good reviews. I have always wanted to do that thing where you send out the form and like get the feedback, but I've always gotten good reviews. Also, I hook up with uglier people, older people. So I think there's this like excitement that like the younger person's hooking up with me. So I think that I'm getting a little bit of biased results, but I'm like, hey, I'll take it.
It's actually the younger people that tell me I'm really good.
Wow.
Because I also prefer hooking up with older guys.
Oh, love it.
Severe daddy issues. Sorry.
Yes.
I don't know why. I like my dad. We vibe, but whatever.
Yeah.
But the few younger guys I've hooked up with, because a beard is a beard, facial hair is facial hair. They've all said that I'm either like the best at one thing or other, which tells me like, oh, maybe you don't have as much experience.
Yeah.
But none of the older guys have ever told me I'm bad.
Yeah.
So I don't like I've never once I have actually had older guys be like, yeah, you're really good, but I've never been told I'm like the best, which is fine.
I love making someone fall in love. So, okay, crazy thing. I think I've already talked about this before. Maybe not. On the pod, at least. My favorite pastime is during sex. I love making the guy I'm having sex with say, I love you.
So that's sociopathic to me.
It's insane, but it's so fun. Guys, get into it. Everybody at home, get into it. I love, so obviously a missionary, duh. And
best, sorry.
Yeah,
the best,
it's so
whatever.
great. And then I'll say you love me. And they'll be like, haha, I love you. And I say it like you mean it. And then they'll say it, and I'm like, say I love you, Zach. And I make them say it. But then by the end, they like are saying it a lot more. It's super fun. That's one of my favorite pastimes. The other is after sex, going, like we finish, whatever. And then like looking into his eyes and being like, I think I love you. And then just like seeing the reaction.
That happened to the guy I'm seeing right now. He told me about that. And then the guy got really obsessive and he had to end it.
Wait, so the other person said, I think I love you?
Said, I think I love you, but I don't think it was for a bit.
Yeah.
I do think it was for real. That's not me. I don't even want you to say my name in bed. Call me baby, babe, good boy, daddy, anything but my name.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about you got some woofs or some rough in the bedroom.
Yep, I've gotten roughs.
And that wasn't that's
Arr!
not your tea.
No.
I one time I was hooking up with somebody older, and he said, it made me so physically uncomfortable. He said, son.
I love it.
No, but it was like, I'm your dad. Like, it wasn't I'm daddy. It was dad. And I was just like, ooh. And in my bedroom, I have a couple of stuffed animals, but I hide them when hookups come over, obviously, because I'm a mature adult. But this time I didn't. And this makes me so uncomfortable. He was like, grab your stuffy. And I was just like, I had to like take a break. I was like,
yep, you lost me there. I was so ready to be turned on and you lost me there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not grabbing my stuffed animal.
Yeah. Oh, it was giving Lolita. I was like, I should call somebody.
God damn. Up until then I was sold though.
Right. It was, and it was good sex.
Call
but
me
like,
son. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I have a good relationship with my dad. I really don't know what this is. I've tried to, I've talked about it in therapy before, but we don't go very far.
My old therapist, shout out Dr. B, she used to say, she's not dead, she's just out of network. She used to say, daddy issues make you gay, mommy issues keep you gay.
Hey, mom and dad.
Wise, so wise. My daddy issues make you gay. I have a great relationship with both my parents, but mommy issues is what keeps you.
Yeah.
Gay.
How interesting.
I have some questions for you, Calvin.
Yes, I'm ready.
I know that you're a very opinionated person.
I'm a very opinionated
and
person.
I value your opinions and perspectives.
Thank you.
I have a couple of Am I the Asshole stories.
I'm ready.
And I want to read through these, and I want you to tell me if these people are the assholes. And I want to, Socratic Seminar, discuss these with you.
Let's do it. I have strong
figure
opinions,
out.
but they're so easily weighed.
I love, one of my favorite things too is like reading reviews or going to the Reddit or whatever. And if other people have a different opinion than me and everybody has it, I will change my opinion.
Same.
I will change it.
I was the worst to do political discussions with in high school because the second someone gave me any sort of evidence that proved I was wrong, I was like, oh my gosh, of course you're right.
Yeah.
Duh.
I will watch a movie and be like, this is the best movie ever. Go to IMDb, go to Reddit, and everyone's like, this movie sucked for these reasons. Here's why I hate it. And I was like, yeah, that movie sucked. I'm like, yeah, you guys are so right.
Yeah.
I love changing my. I'm a person where I need public opinion. I went to NC State, go Pack, and we would always say like Pack poll. So I will send messages to the group chat all the time, be like, Pack poll, what do we think about this? And people are like, do you ever form your own opinion? No, I want other people to form it for me.
It's really nice.
God forbid.
It's so nice when someone else tells you what to think.
I love it. That's the
Oh
dream.
God, now I get why people like Trump. But it's
Clock
true. It's so
that
nice.
Tea. Clock that tea.
God, I have so much more sympathy for them now. But it's like, God, it really is nice when you're just told what to think.
I wish the microchip, when they put it in me, I wish that they would have turned it on to like just put the brainwaves in me.
I've taken every single COVID vaccine that they've offered me. Why hasn't a single one made me want to be a Republican? I'm waiting.
I want to wear an infinity scarf and
Hate my community.
yes.
That's
yes.
no, but like literally,
they're
the
evil, but they're free.
The gay Republicans honestly sound like they're having a great time.
Girl.
Like, what is that like to literally not have a thought in your head about others? I wonder. I feel like I'd honestly, you probably have a great time.
There's a pack of them here in Denver. They make like a gays against groomers, and they're like anti-drag. And one of them posted, they were wearing MAGA hats and tried to walk into Buddies, which I don't know if it's still open, but it was like a bear-ish bar. Super cool owners. And the bouncer was like, yeah, the cover is like $50 each. And they were like, what the fuck? And then the bouncer was letting other people in. And they're like, you're discriminating against because of the MAGA hat. And he was like, I don't give a shit. And then everyone in the comments, because they posted online, were like, what the fuck? Everyone in the comments was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go drink at Buddies now.
No,
this place
that would make me
rocks.
want to drink at Buddies more.
Yeah.
God, how fun.
So if whoever's listening, if you can turn on the microchip from our COVID vaccines, that'd be great.
you.
Okay, so here's our first Am I the Asshole story. Am I the asshole for hooking up with a DL daddy, ... who's an actual daddy? I, 24 male, was chatting with a guy, 32 male, not that long of an age gap, on Grindr, who said he was DL and a daddy. I assumed he meant, the usual, but then he clarified he's an actual dad. He wouldn't send face pics at first because he was DL, but eventually he came over. When he got here, I saw his phone screen. It was a picture of him with a woman and a kid. That's when he admitted that he's married. My brain said red flag, but my hormones said go for it. Now I kind of feel guilty. Am I the asshole for hooking up with him, or is his marriage his own problem?
I struggle with this because I hate cheating. I've had friends that have been cheated on. I've seen it, and it breaks my heart. And it's really hard because I've hooked up with a DL daddy before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was like he wasn't a daddy, but I didn't know he was married until I saw the ring on his finger in person mid action.
Yeah.
Like literally. So it's hard because it is his own marriage and his own problem. But I do think we as queer people can
Get to choose our families.
Yeah, we get to choose our families. So
we get to choose who we hook up with.
So we do get to choose that kind of stuff. And so I feel like we should try and be better about it. It's hard because a guy can lie. A guy can just lie.
For
but
sure.
There are lots of gay men who seek that out, and that's where I have a problem. You shouldn't seek that out because and I'm a girl's gay. So girls have always lifted me up. All of my best comedy opportunities have been from women. Women have always been the thing that's empowered me. So the last thing I would ever want to do is like betray a woman and her trust. So it's hard because I don't want to. I've done it before and I'm not happy about it, but I don't go out of my way to seek it. It's different when it happens like in the moment because like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like truly like what like that's a really awkward position to be put in. But if you're seeking it out, that's when you're the asshole. So I don't think he's the asshole. I think it's a really shitty situation and just don't seek it out.
Yeah.
Because like but then there are plenty of gays who like hate women, okay, I guess, but I just it would feel weird as someone who identifies as a girl's gay to seek it out. That's where I think the problem is.
Yeah, especially girls gays. I mean, women uplift gays all the time.
Yes.
If you are like, I don't really have women in my life, I don't surround myself with women, check yourself. And also think about back when you were in fucking middle school and you were the loser getting picked on. Who is your friend? Probably girls. Probably the girls that were letting you go over to their house and make videos and dress up and do all the things and hang out. Like, I, in that situation, agree of like, you shouldn't. I think it's that, again, if somebody's lying, if it's in the moment, it is such an awkward situation, especially if you are in the hot and heavy part of it.
Like,
and
we were literally in the hot and heavy part. What am I supposed to do? Yeah.
Be like, no, leave. But then there's also like hormones you're fighting against of like, girl.
And when you're hot and heavy, those hormones are hard to stop.
Oh, for sure.
The fuck? I don't get how people stop midway. I don't get it.
I've only been able to stop if it's been like rising kind of thing. And been like,
I've stopped during the rising action before, but never during the climax.
No, exactly. So I agree. It's such a weird situation too, because it's like that dude is gonna go and cheat no matter what. Like he's gonna hook up with somebody no matter. You saying you shouldn't do that is not gonna change anything.
Yep.
And I think that's where some people fall into the trap of like, it's kind of if you're gonna drink, I'd rather you do it in the house. Like if you're gonna cheat, I'd rather you do it with me. But then it's also like, I would feel not great about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my day job, we do STI testing. And so we get a whole slew of people. We're very like queer friendly. We do a lot of advertising on Sniffies. And so the type of population on Sniffies is very DL, very people cheating on their wives, very like that's also when I first started on Sniffies was like, oh, this is all a bit. It's people saying I'm actually like a straight man, DL married. And it's like for the fantasy of it, I didn't realize it was a real thing. Like that a lot of the people were. There are the fakers on there that are like, I'm doing this. It's kind of like the fantasy role play, but like the majority of it's real.
Majority are real, yeah.
And so we do get a lot of people, and we have had people that like we know because on our like we use the Sniffies account to communicate with people to like tell them about it, but it's my torso is the profile picture. We made it like a very Go Ask Alice of like, there's a person behind it, so it's not like a sketchy, it's just like our logo. And it's a picture from a long time ago. Mind you, my body does not look like that torso picture anymore. And so sometimes we do get like inquiries about that.
Yeah.
About me. And so we've learned that like some people are married and stuff like that, but then like they come in and get tested, and it's this HIPAA ethical dilemma of like, as STI testers, are we helping somebody cheat better? Of like, so many cheaters do get found out because of like if their partner gets an STI or something like that.
Yeah.
So then it's like, oh, but then it's like the harm reduction side of us is like, well, we're lowering the rate of infectious diseases and STI rates.
Unfortunately, I'd say that's more important.
Yeah.
Because STIs like syphilis, you can't cure. Syphilis like fucks up your mind. Like there are so many different.
You actually can get treatment and cure, but you have to do it early because syphilis can develop into like neurosyphilis if untreated. Every STI is treatable and curable now. Yep.
Wait, that is so cool.
Chlamydia, gonorrhea, Hep C, syphilis, curable. You'll always have the antibodies for Hep C and syphilis in your body, but that's just because the way those tests work. HIV is the only one that HIV and like herpes where it's not curable, but it is treatable with like U equals U, like with antiretroviral therapies. Herpes, you can take medications to like control outbreaks and stuff. But yeah, everything is treatable and curable now. Yeah.
So I just finished an audiobook called The Curious History of Sex.
Oh.
And they were talking about each chapter was like a different history on like something new.
Yeah.
And one of them was the history of condoms. So they talked a lot about syphilis specifically because it would the author was British. So she talked more about like British history, but she tried to make it world and viewed stuff. And syphilis just had this nasty thing. And I learned so much about it there. And once it becomes like in your mind, it's like an STD can fuck up your mind. And so that harm reduction I think is more important long run. And it's hard because like that's where it's like I don't think you're helping people become better cheaters. I think you're helping prevent women from getting blindsided. Because it's like I would say, I don't know, but I would say most women would probably prefer to find out through text message that their husband is cheating than find out that they have herpes, which you are stuck with it. Thank God it's treatable, but like you're still stuck with it. You can't just get rid of it.
Totally. I mean, in the UK, a stat came out where cishet women are the highest number of like new diagnoses for HIV because you're getting so many women who sleep with men who have sex with men we love our bisexuals. We love, DL men. Everyone's on their own journey, but cishet women, PrEP isn't advertised for them. Conversations about HIV isn't advertised. So you get all this stuff. So it is really our team state, because we have so many people that come in. I mean, we had somebody the other day that walked in from the get-go and was like, yeah, I cheated. And we're all like, you didn't have to air that out to the entire team.
Okay.
But we our kind of, my perspective on it is like it'll come out in the cards. Like, somebody cheating is going to get found out. Like, shit's going to hit the fan. Or hopefully they're going to realize that they need to not be disrespecting that person.
Yeah, and it's also hard because then you can be like, well, it's because we live in a society that forces the heteronormative marriage. It's like, yes, it's true, but we are like working on that. So it's really gray, but it's like ultimately, if you know what you could be doing is actively hurting somebody else, that's where it kind of turns into your own ethic. Yeah. And I would much rather not hurt some random stranger girl that would probably be nicer to me than that guy would be in public to me anyways.
Exactly. Okay, I love that. So that for this person, might not be the asshole, but if you hooked up with him again, you would be an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Calvin, this has been so much fun.
This has been such a good time.
Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell all the kids at home, where can people find you?
Yes, so I am on socials, Calvin Reid, REID_. Calvin Reid, if you Google me, it should come up. Please Google me. I love doing comedy. I love doing everything. I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky. I deleted my Twitter.
Whoa.
I took a risk because I hate it. I was just like, God, I hate Elon so much. And I'm not that politically charged, but God, autocracy just scared me. So I deleted my Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky, but I don't post anything. So just go to my Instagram, Calvin Reid, REID_.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Y'all have to check out Calvin's comedy. It's the best. Literally the best in the entire scene. I love Calvin so much. This is the end of our show. Everybody say aww. But don't worry, we have new episodes coming out every Tuesday. So make sure that you are liked, subscribed, ready to hit those notifications so that you know. You can call out sick every Tuesday so that you can make sure that you listen to the episode. Do what you got to do. You can follow us online, Instagram, TikTok, all the places at Pillow Talk Dr. Z. That's Pillow Talk DRZ. And then as well, huge shout out to our sponsors, Dude IDK Studio, for having us. We are so appreciative. If you haven't checked out Dude IDK Studio, get into it. One of the best places in all of Denver. But on behalf of our entire cast and crew and our beautiful guest, Calvin, my name is Dr. Zackarina Jenny Ho. Good night and big balls. Thank you.
Bye.